Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about app dev from a beginner's perspective. So my previous video really garnered your attention, so I thought of doubling down a bit more about my app to give you guys ideas on what it really takes to go into developing applications. So apps aren't just businesses, they provide real value to people. You wouldn't click on an app that you wouldn't use, let alone purchase a subscription for it. That's why I took time to do a lot of research, understand people behavior, and try to use my app dev experience for you guys to know what it really is like. Now, I do know it's worth more watching a video from an experienced person because they can tell you what to do and what not to do. But hear me out. There is no one size fits all solution. If you're thinking about building your app and being an entrepreneur, you need to also understand a beginner's perspective. So if you're interested in that, stick around to my channel for future videos that you guys can learn from my mistakes. I want to talk about business models first. In order for you to actually understand how businesses work, I need you guys to understand that you need to adapt a certain kind of mindset when it comes to business. Entrepreneurs are not known for being safe. They need to take risks. That is why I need you to understand that mistakes are a must when it comes to building things. To make the best moves on a chessboard, you need to keep playing the game again and again to be better. Same thing with entrepreneurship, same thing with life. You have to keep on doing new things again to figure out how to be 1% better every single day. The first issue that I faced while I was trying to build the app is that I didn't know what to do at all. I have zero background in app dev, but I knew that I needed to start. I know that applications have front end and back end, and a bunch of things in between connecting the two along with security and privacy. But I did have this cool idea for an app that did not need a backend for the first iteration. So what if I could try to build an application to calculate grocery item prices, but just from the price tag image? And that's exactly what my previous video was about. A lot of you guys stuck around to watch what it was really like, so I thought why not try to give you guys a bit more background into what I was building from a technical perspective as much as I knew. This began my app dev experience. Now the issue that came up with was choosing what AI app to use. There's so many out there: Lovable, Roar, Bolt, Replit, and now even there's something called Rocket. Some are different, some are directly for mobile apps and some are just for web apps. The issue was just comparing which one to build the first iteration better. So I watched a bunch of videos comparing SaaS software. Now the reason why I chose Roar firstly is credits. All these AI softwares use something called credits. These credits, or messages, however you want to call it, calculate how many tokens you use per prompt and actions you require to build app. That way you spend these credits to make changes to the app. Now this is different per software. Bolts depend on how many changes you make to the app. Lovable depends more on the messages you send. The reason why I chose Rourke was because it allowed a lot of messages, but I'm pretty sure Lovable has the same amount of a month's worth of credits for you to at least get the MVP out. But hold on, this wasn't the only thing to rely upon. The next thing that came up was building the app itself. Now most AI programs use React. React revolutionized web UIs. React Native brought the same concepts to iOS and Android. Rourke was able to build a great MVP with React on its software, on its platform. But the problem is when it comes to more complex changes or features, Rourke instantly becomes redundant. What I do love about it is the fact that it seamlessly published to the App Store once you're able to connect it. You can't exactly publish directly to the Play Store. Another thing is that when it came to testing, it uses software called Expo, which came with Rourke. It handles publishing and testing on your app, and that was a great way of quickly understanding where your MVP was at. But there was an issue with it. You can't exactly directly publish to the Play Store. Expo's convenient testing method was Expo Go, an app they designed to allow for testing and debugging the app without downloading. And this is good for beginners, but it slows down production once you start integrating specific libraries and modules, because you cannot do it with the Expo Go app. That is a major issue you will face later on when you want to upgrade the app. Now, how did I overcome this issue of testing native packages in the app? I started using another software called Cursor. Now imagine Visual Studio Code, but AI based. Of course, there's also Visual Studio Code with Copilot, but Cursor was the AI platform I decided to go ahead with this. No specific reason, just wanted to try things out. Now it's a bit more advanced. It actually requires you to understand coding a bit more, and that comes with experience. The next part of publishing my app was just that it takes a lot of time. Publish, deploy, debug, and a bunch of other things through Cursor. In fact, some of the times I didn't even know what to do with Cursor itself. The reason is that I can't really be specific. It was honestly a lot of prompting and debugging because the app just sort of tends to stumble around things a lot. That's why it's important to debug before you deploy. A lot of self-learning is also required because you need to to understand specific things like JSON files, how you can publish to the App Store through CLI. Same thing if you want to do for Android. The same thing goes for app bundles or APKs through EAS as well, which is Expo Authentication Service. But Cursor was honestly a good investment because you get to have a guided app dev journey without much time to deploy because you learn as you go. Another important thing is that I didn't just use Cursor, I also used ChatGPT. Now, where Cursor would lack, ChatGPT would come in to fix a lot of things. Package management, understanding logic, it's all part of the journey. ChatGPT helped me in identifying issues, constraints, what I can do to improve, and so much more. In fact, in moments when Cursor was really not useful, ChatGPT was my savior. It helped me identify crucial flaws, especially with EAS and logic. While it's not the best thing you can do to make ideas pop out of thin air, it did help me understand things from a business perspective too. So that may be something you want to keep in mind. Thank you guys a lot for sticking around for my video. Here's a link to the previous video that I built on the app itself that goes into what I'm trying to build. If you guys have any comments about app development and what I can do to improve as a programmer, just hit me up down in the comments below, and do share your own experience as well, because I think that will be helpful for a lot of us, including me.